Welcome to the last lap, everyone. I'm Rich Farmer. This is Shelly Liskai, and today we're just going to kind of have a recap of the weekend and the Kick It event and the two-day All-Star Jim Ford Classic event, and touch base on our golf outing that's coming up this weekend. Since we're off racing, we'll have our second annual Hall of Fame golf outing. So, where do you want to start?
Well, our racing community stepped up, and I feel like I'm already telling you something that you don't know, but I guess they don't know. Right now, our total for the Kick It event is for 2014 is $50,423.
Then with the match, that takes it over 100,000.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool deal. It's worked out great this year. Everybody that has contributed in any way is, the money goes to a very worthy cause with childhood cancer through the Jeff Gordon Foundation, and as our area, has obviously suffered from some cancer issues with children in Sandusky County. So, thanks to everybody that had participated in that program for sure.
And I have to thank everybody because it went off without any problems. You know me. A lot of people don't know that I have an agenda. And my agenda, I like to go by how the agenda is written. And it pretty much went by how the agenda was written.
Then the races went by how Dale Blaney writes agendas.
Yeah.
He wins. And,
Yeah.
And swept the weekend, which, Dale is very good at Fremont Speedway. And, a lot of our local teams, they don't have anything to be ashamed of for sure. It's Rob and them run second on the second night. Brandon Rumor ran second on the first night. And those are those guys are in basically local cars and with local owned teams and that kind of thing. So it's really good for those guys. And how about the 305 guys spanking on him a little bit? That was pretty entertaining.
I didn't get to see it.
No, they beat him.
Did they?
They beat him bad.
Yeah. I got a text from Tyler Swank asking if Dale made everybody look stupid this weekend, and I couldn't legitimately answer that question because I didn't get to see any of the 305 stuff.
No, the 305 stuff, they made him look silly. I kind of joked about it. I said, afterwards, I hope our 305 guys don't want to go start a series because they was able to beat him and stuff like that. So, it was it's all in good fun, and everybody had a good time. The bands did a good job out in the campgrounds, and
It was just a all-around smooth, good ran weekend from my end.
Well, the whole weekend was good. So we look forward to next year and that kind of thing. And we got our championship night coming up, and our points battle is our 410 points are 2 points away with Byron Reed and Brian Lay, and them guys. They both struggled this last week on Saturday night. They both had a pretty rough night. So, and they both have new race cars. So that's kind of that'll be interesting to see how that works out for them come the 27th on championship night.
Not to downplay, Byron's had a really strong second part of the season. I thought he kind of started out a little bit not Byron Reedish, struggling a a bit. I don't like to say struggling, but he's really put a good program together the last
Byron Reed is kind of like Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the guy, they're just so consistent. Their race teams are so consistent that's what wins them championships and stuff like that. Byron won the fast championship without a feature win in the fast competition. So that shows credit to this team. Their whole team's consistencies.
But on the flip side, I don't think Brian Lay's going to lay down and just hand it to him either. I think he wants that first championship pretty bad.
He wants it. He absolutely does. And them guys have worked really hard to get themselves in the position to win it. And from a guy that's come from the asphalt deal, and he's won a championship, like a South African pavement championship of some sorts.
Yeah.
For him to win at Fremont would be it'd be a pretty cool deal for them guys, for their family. They're definitely a nice family.
And our championship tonight, you got big stuff planned? Anything special going on at Fremont Speedway? Is that your luncheon?
No, we got the luncheon, the sponsor luncheon earlier in the day. Our way to thank everybody that's supports what we do at Fremont and that kind of stuff. And we've had some drivers step up to help serve the dinner and that kind of thing. So that's really nice for those guys to want to do that and to show their appreciation. It'll be pretty good. It'll be a good night for sure.
So I don't know. Was uneventful weekend.
It's always uneventful.
Not always. Sometimes we have more events in the back,
Well, now
behind the curtain.
one of the other things we got coming up is the World of Outlaw show, and the tickets are available. You can go to the website and click and get reserved tickets for the Outlaw event. We got some special stuff planned for the farewell deal with Steve Kinzer, which would be kind of neat. Got our Run What You Brung race with the Powder Puff and the non-wings, the Boss non-wing deal. I had one of the Run What You Brung class guys, one of the competitors. He's wanting to put some money up for Fast Time if we would establish a Trek record for this class, for like
Which class?
the Run What You Brung Outlaw late model class, or I haven't really thought about it much, but he contacted me and asked about that. And we had a very successful short test with our 602 car. Got another phone call today, a guy that had attended our meeting on last Sunday and purchased a car by the following weekend, and he's moving up from a stock car division at another place, and he's very excited. So we got delivered a motor for that for another team that ordered a motor. So things are moving forward with the 602 program. John Boers ran it a little bit at the racetrack the other night, and he thought he was pretty impressed with the how good the car was compared to he runs the Super every week, so he was impressed with the performance of the 602. So that's something we got to look forward to.
They're very...
Not so much her, but me.
Well, I'm not a lover of it, but I am a lover of racing, so I'm trying to be a supporter, if not a lover of it.
Well, it is, that it's a fendered car, and I understand that, but the annual cost to race this thing is where it's going to make its difference, and where it's going to be something special for the people. I call it the entry exit level of racing. If you're getting started, it's an affordable way to get started. If you've crossed that peak and you're wanting to still race, but you're wanting to do it in an affordable, more fun type of manner, opposed to the business end of a lot of divisions, it's a great way to do that. I really look forward to the opening night of the 602s.
Yeah, I know you do. I've never been afraid of a race car ever in my life, but I'm afraid of those race cars. They're huge.
I had a really good time in that thing after the races the other night. I got to cut some laps in it, and the car's a lot of fun. It's a really fun race car to drive. So
it's huge.
It's huge, but it's a really fun race car to drive.
Yeah. I don't know. We went whitewater rafting and ziplining, and on our off time during the fair month, and I really wanted to get my adrenaline fix. Never got it for those two things, and rolling the 602 late model off of the trailer, I had so much adrenaline going through me, my hands were shaking. It's that intimidating to me. And all I did was roll it off the back of the trailer.
It'd be cool if you could figure out how to shift it, because then you'd probably have some real fun. But
yeah, but I don't even want to shift her truck in the Powder Puff Derby, so
it's easy to shift.
Shifting. I can drive it.
These are a little different than your truck. You push the clutch in to go. You're holding the clutch down to move.
Yeah, it's a really weird.
You're not when you're up to speed, but like in the pit area, you're holding the clutch down to go. And Saturday, that was my first time ever. Back when I run a dirt late model, we had regular transmission, triple disc clutches and stuff. We didn't have Bert's back then. It was a long time ago, but it's definitely different.
Don't forget to put that factor in that it's huge. I mean, it
is a big race car.
It's
a lot of cars.
Huge. When you sit it next to a dirt truck and a sprint car, it is monstrous.
It's a pretty good size. It's a pretty good size race car. I'll give you that.
Getting in and out of it was a struggle too. It's an awkward little.
I think it's hard for you. Try it for me. It's a little more challenging.
I'm looking forward to Run What You Brung night. Normally, when you first put that on the schedule, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but.
Well, I seen Tim Coles got his. He won the Run What You Brung late model division. Last time we had it, and he was out testing them guys. I mean, he's very, very serious about this deal, and
the Run What You Brung race.
Yes, yeah. And he went to Waynesfield and tested with he puts the big Lexan sideboards on, and all that stuff on his car, and I think he said he ran a 12 flat around Waynesfield. He said he could run it full song, wide open, and that's pretty quick for a stock car around Waynesfield. I mean, you think about how fast a sprint car goes around 10 seconds around there, and to only go 2 seconds slower in a full-bodied stock car is it's pretty impressive. I mean, that thing must roll pretty nice.
So do you have an idea of how many of these things we got coming in?
I have no idea how many
No.
there would be. The late model stock car version of it last year, we had I think we rained out last year, but the year before we had a really good turnout in that division. And we got the Boston on Wing show with it this year with the Buckeye Outlaw Sprints. So that's them guys, they've had incredible car counts. Aaron Fry has done a fantastic job getting that series off the ground, and
I think
and
you're forgetting something.
the Powder Puff.
Yes, you have us chicks there.
And that I've seen it go multiple ways over the years. When Jim had the one, they cut somebody out of a cage one night, and that race can be interesting. But
I'm looking forward to it this year. Redemption for me.
well, you didn't wreck till after the race was
Well,
over.
that's
so
true, but I still wrecked.
I'm not real sure what we're redeeming at this point. Hopefully not.
Well,
the
I'm
same,
hoping to roll it back to the trailer
without the assistance of a wrecker.
and parts that people were handing in the
Yeah.
window
When
to
they
me.
hand parts through the window, it's not a good
Yeah,
thing
I was
at
a
the
little
races.
humiliated by that.
You ever had that happen to you, Steven? Like they actually hand you like the spring and the spring bucket through the window?
No.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, but they had to go up. I'll bring back my truck.
Yeah, that's a pretty common problem in the truck division.
But how many? I think my question was how many crate cars do you feel you're going to have when?
For the 602s for
Yes.
opening night, I think we'll have 12 to 15.
And do you have like a
Realistically?
goal? And I'm a goal.
12 to
oriented.
15 is my 12 is my realistic goal, and but you got to keep in mind when the 305 division started in 1988 there was 4. When the dirt trucks division started in 2000 there was 4, and by the end of that season I think there was 26 or something. So realistically, if we can get this class to be right around that 25 car mark that we are with our other divisions, that would be I would feel that that's a success at that point. If we could get to where we have right around 90 to 100 cars in the pits every week with only 4 divisions, I think that's where we need to be as far as the racetrack, and not putting on too long of a show for the fans, where we can get them in and we can still give them what they come to see in a reasonable amount of time, and get them back home. I think we can do that with this division, and it'll all work hopefully as well as we have planned. Our team does a really good job at efficiency, with the push truck guys, and everybody's just it's like a pretty well-oiled machine most days.
Most days.
Every now and then stuff happens.
Those nights when you're super tired and everybody's spinning out and you're just really wanting to go home.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway, I forgot to mention when we come on today that the clip that Brian had made up for the weekend, that was they do a really good job making those clips up every week for
I
the
think his
show.
brother Todd does that.
Yeah.
And Brian edits it.
Yeah,
Right.
those are just they're nice to. You got any more of those, Stephen, for break?
I have 2 Converse ones.
Let's take a break and play some of that.
All right.
Here we go, side by side, wing to wing, out of turn number 4, green out. Yep. Dean Jacobs takes the lead down the backstretch. Cap Henry into second. Back to third, Chad Kemenow. Gary Taylor up to the 4th spot. Here comes Cap Henry with a big run on Dean Jacobs out of turn 4. Lap traffic lies ahead, and here comes Cap Henry. Chad Kemenah rebounding, picking up the pace on Cap Henry for second. Lap traffic ahead. 5 in this time by. It's still Dean Jacobs, Cap Henry, Chad Kemenah. Into the 4 spot now. Rob Chaney in the 9X. 1/3 of the way home this time by. And here comes Cap Henry closing on Dean Jacobs. Moving up in. Oh, hang on, Rob Chaney off the high side. Here comes Cap Henry. Laps winding down for Dean Jacobs. Now Cap Henry has cleared the lap car. Here comes Byron Reed to the outside of Chad Kemenah for third. Byron Reed with a lap car ahead. 7 to go for Dean Jacobs. Byron Reed now into third. They're racing side by side. Here comes Cap Henry to the inside. Henry, oh, caution, caution, caution on the speedway. Chris Andrews, your fast point leader, goes to a stop in turn 4.
Man. Yeah, you know what? I got to come do it again for 25 laps. I don't know if I can handle that, but I tell you what, Jerry McClure has deserved this. He's just told me it's been 18 years and he's never won an A main. And I have to tell you, the first time I ever drove his car at Lakeville Speedway, and my son was racing Cody, and he won, and I ran second. And Jerry's cousin, he was with us with cancer and sat on the trailer a few times. And that last time I drove Jerry's car there, he died that night. And I'd like to dedicate this race to him. He was a great guy.
Well, congratulations, 6th win. Boy, Cap Henry didn't make it easy for you there. The good thing for that yellow.
Yeah, you know, I've had them yellows beat me many times, and this time it won the race for me, I think. And open racetrack, I could run the guts out of this thing. It was fun, and I can't wait to get into 305 and do it again. Thank you.
I'm telling you, it's our year, Ron. Oh, look, it's Mr. NASCAR.
Still have your know-how, huh?
Yep.
That's why Ron has more than 35 NHRA wins. Well, Martin has 2 NASCAR Nationwide championships. Whatever. You're ugly. You want to step outside?
Sweep the leg.
We don't have legs.
Never mind.
He's on Dance Walk the Stars.
Welcome back, everyone. The clip there with Dean winning, that's pretty cool for the McClure team. You know, they hadn't won a race in, I think it was 18 years they raced without winning a feature event, a main event. So, you know, that's really good for those guys. And to get it done at Fremont is, you know, hopefully it's always as special for them as it is for us to add to the win list with new people. And, you know, Dean's won there before, but this team is, you know, they spend what they can, and they have a nice outfit. They come in on an open trailer, and you know, it just goes to show sometimes that the big rigs and all that kind of stuff isn't what wins the races. And he did a great job with that thing, and you know, just hats off to that entire team for that win.
I agree. Dean was pretty emotional about that win.
Well, you know, the wins don't come as easy as they used to, and when you're in a car that, you know, like them guys, like I said, they hadn't won a race in 18 years. It's, you know, it is something, you know, to be proud to give them guys that first win and all
Right.
that time. So I can see how that could be very emotional for those guys. Our golf outing is this week. We still have room for about 5 teams left. If anybody's wanting to play, we got the racers version of the golf outing where you must have a crew member, a car owner, or a driver, where you represent that race team to play for the sponsor packages. The sponsor packages they're very nice packages. You walk away with some cash and some other thing. Craig Mintz has donated some wraps that will be part of it. The Kisslers and Kiers have both donated some very valuable gift cards.
A good chunk of cash if you win.
Yeah, and there's you know, Crown Battery has donated some cash, and you know, first place, if you're the first place, you're going to get a $3,000 sponsor package.
Right.
And the only thing that you got to do is, well, win the golf game.
And run their their stickers.
and run the decals, for the people that put up the funds for this, and just support them, because, those are the people that are supporting us to make these things happen. And at the end of the day, it's a great fundraiser for our Hall of Fame, and we got some new stuff going on in there this winter with some redecorating of the one wall and changing out some pictures and
Concrete.
putting some concrete out back to make it where we can get these cars in and out of there better. So all this stuff really helps, and the sponsor packages they're nice. They're very nice. They're chances are for a lot of teams, this is more than they would ever get by going out and just knocking on a door somewhere.
Oh, definitely. Those sponsored packages of that amount aren't out there anymore.
Yeah,
they used to be.
they're very tough. So
And you got to beat yourself up too.
Yeah, get in a golf game, bring some good players and play, and hopefully
it's just
you can.
a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm not a golfer, but it's a lot of fun. Everybody comes out and you get to hang out with other racers and crew members, and
you get a nice steak dinner. You get a very nice steak dinner, and we got some envelopes that we'll be selling. There'll be $5 a piece, and you buy an envelope, and it has a mystery pack, a mystery gift in it.
And there's some really cool envelopes.
But there's nothing for less than $5, and I think the most expensive thing in there was like $1,000.
Yeah, I think so.
So you'll get something that's well worth your $5 at the end of the day. You won't be disappointed in spending $5 for that. So that's also really cool. And then we also have the outlaw teams, which would be anybody that has a team that doesn't want to play, or doesn't play with a race team, but you would like to play for some cash. Pay $750 to the first place team, $500 to the second place team, $250 to the third place team, and the fourth place team will get 4 free World of Outlaw pit passes for Fremont Speedway this year. So that's makes a pretty nice package as well.
Yeah.
I'm getting it, yeah, definitely. Don't got a whole lot to add over there.
I feel bad because I want to be involved in the golf outing, and I do have a girls team, but I haven't been real hands-on with it. So all that stuff that you're saying is kind of new to me. I haven't really heard all the packages and I've seen you scribbling around on paper and crossing it out and scribbling, crossing out, and so forth, but I haven't. It is really impressive that a golf outing can do that. You have something smart to say over there?
No.
Okay, I just wondered.
Mike and Tina, they've really, them guys have helped, and RJ Willie, those guys, they go out and they help and they get these things rounded up, and the people and all that kind of stuff. They do a phenomenal job to help with this Hall of Fame golf outing.
And I think maybe the two people that a lot of times we overlook is Jane and Randy Mavis. Without Jane and Randy, I don't know how far the Hall of Fame would be right now, because you and I don't have time to do it, and they just, Randy will tell you that is his life. That is what he does. He is Fremont Speedway Hall of Fame.
And his words, his passion is those 4 walls.
Yeah.
And he's done a tremendous job with that. When the Hall of Fame originally come about, and the whole concept was there. He was the first phone call that I made was to him to see if I could get him on board, because I knew how passionate he was about the history of racing at Fremont Speedway and just history of racing in general, with other places, and the North Coast Vintage Oval Racers, which they'll have a small display out to the Hall of Fame, and they got a really big weekend coming up. They get to go back to Eldora, and a lot of these guys haven't been to Eldora for a very, very long time. So
when is that?
That's Friday and Saturday of the 4 Crown. They get to go be on the big stage with the World of Outlaws and USAC and Roger Slack and Larry Bowes and the VARC.
That's this coming weekend.
That's correct, this weekend. And the VARC organization, they've made it to where these guys can come down and have some fun with their cars and be with the people and that kind of thing. And Jim Linder gets to go back there and take his championship winning car around Eldora again, and they won the 1975 track championship there with that car, and won the Frosty 50, it was called, which was the race that has been replaced by the Kings Royal. The year that Jim won it was the last year of it. The next year that race became the Kings Royal, and Steve Kinzer ran second to him in that race. So it's a pretty cool deal for the Linders to be able to go back there and have some fun with that deal with Jim and them. So that's always
A lot of stuff going on this weekend.
yeah. The Outlaws, we're closed for this weekend, and we're closed to help support Eldora Speedway and their success with the Four Crown Nationals, and we really hope everybody gets a chance to go down there and support those guys.
And we get to go down and see Christopher. It's always a plus for me.
Christopher's in town, so that's always or close
a
to
national
town, I
holiday
guess.
for a mom.
Yeah, makes mom happy. So. But I think at the end of the day, we got the golf outing on Sunday. Dale's going to come up and play in the golf outing. We got a lot of really good teams, and it's going to be a really good time. There's a putting competition that'll take place. The envelope deal, the food,
And
old
the skins
cars.
that we are not really sure what that means.
Yeah, and the skins.
We're not golfers.
No, we're not.
But you are going to be a golfer that day, and I'm going to be a golfer that day.
Yeah.
I have some cool clubs. I'm just not real sure what to do with all of them.
I got my brother's clubs, and
Yeah.
they're very nice.
Yeah.
He let me borrow them earlier this year, and they've been in the trunk of our car since then. So
Yeah.
we'll just keep them there till the weekend.
Yeah. Dust them off a little on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll pretty much wrap up the show tonight.
Short
Just kind
night.
of a quick show, kind of a recap of the Jim Ford race and the Kick It organization deal.
I wanted to just thank everybody that came out over the weekend and helped me out with my Kick It stuff. I had a lot of volunteers. Thanks everybody for coming out and dropping your dollars and quarters and nickels and everything in our buckets.
And you got to say hi to Keegan Gressman.
I do want to say hi to Keegan Gressman. He was at the house before I left today, and Michelle tells me that he watches our show faithfully. So, hi Keegan. And I want to congratulate our new 2015 Queen, Ashley Sanders, who will be taking over for Maria come next year. Huge shoes to fill.
And how about Jamie Ivy?
And little Jamie Ivy. Yeah, Jamie Ivy, our new 2015 first year. We'll have Jamie back in 5 or 6 years, and she'll be a full grown.
Well, I think it was pretty priceless when they asked her what she wanted to be, and she said just like her dad.
Or what I think they said, why do you like to come to the races, or what do you want to do at the races or something?
Yeah.
And she said, I just want to be just like my dad. And you look over and you see John wiping his little. John got a little frosty there.
Yeah, that happens though. I mean, that's anytime somebody can be proud of their dad or their mom or
And that
whatever
deal-
is a pretty good feat.
Yeah, and that deal with the little girls when it came about, you're trying to get the younger generation picked up and want to get involved in it. And I just want to say it was one of the hardest things to do is watch 8 little girls walk away crying because they didn't win. But I'm hoping that they keep coming back and want to try again next year and want to come and watch the races. And Jamie's there every week, so she's kind of she was pretty, she was real comfortable with the judges and everything, so good for Jamie.
Yeah, and you got to thank the judges, all the people that come out and help.
We had
with
spectacular judges
they
this year.
did. They asked some pretty
wasn't
unique
just
questions.
It wasn't just what's your favorite color or who's your favorite driver. They actually.
I think it was, it kind of shows you how things are today when the judges are asking about social media and those types of questions. You look
And
back, you would never have heard that.
As much
5
as
years
you and
ago,
I,
but-
2 years ago, spoke about social media playing such a big role, remember, we talked about it and we really didn't like how people could come and tweet, and we went through this whole social media thing. I think it played a big role in their decision, some of the social media.
Social media today can either be one of your biggest accomplishments or best friends or however you want to look at it. It can also be one of the worst things. Everybody gets an opinion on social media, and a lot of times, since it's so convenient and it's in your pocket or it's right there at the touch of your fingers at all the times, even when you're emotional or you're upset or things didn't go right, it's pretty easy just to pick up that device and send a tweet or Facebook status or.
And unfortunately, that's what we've come to. Every one of our judges, and I thought we had great judges. Thank you, Les Mintz, Scott Gressman, Pat Mowry, Zan Smith came from Miss Eldora 2 years ago, and then our Queen Maria, and every one of them came with background information that they had on the contestants, and they did their homework, and they kind of got to know these girls through their social media pages. So I guess when you're out there putting your rants out there, and you have to be a little bit careful because people are taking that stuff into consideration.
Well, and Maria has done such a great job for us
Spectacular.
for the last year, and you can't thank her enough for everything that she's done for Fremont Speedway, and for you think back that she got her ticket at she was the free tickets that we
So
hand
we
out
would
to
have
the
been
schools.
a good halfway into our season, or close to halfway through the season, before she ever seen a race last year.
It would have been May. It would have
Well,
been May.
okay.
Just kind of earlier, but
Yeah, back.
when we give those tickets away, that was been the first time she was ever at a race. So it's really nice for us to see one of our promotions with the school tickets and the Race in the Summer program that we've done for a few years. It's nice to see that has worked to get people to the racetrack and
how
keep
about
them there.
109 people? 109?
108.
108 people coming into the Hall of Fame to watch our Queens contest the other day.
Randy Mapus, for those that don't know, he's a numbers guy. I mean, every day that Hall of Fame is open, whether it's for a flea market, the fair, a race night, all the many things that we do up there, social gatherings included, he can tell you how many people were there per event. He's a head count, he's on top of that stuff, and it's worked out really good, and it's kept it to where we know who's there, how often they're there, and it's made it to where like I said, this winter we're gonna do some changes in there to freshen it up, that kind of thing. A lot of the stuff has been there for a couple of years now, and some stuff's gonna go, some new stuff's gonna come, and we want to keep that thing interesting and keep it to where people really enjoy the Hall of Fame for years to come, for sure.
Yeah, I know you and I have tried to talk about finding somebody, not to replace, because you could never, but to kind of help Randy and Jane out, and I've drawn a blank for months.
Well, Randy and Jane we could definitely use to find somebody with that same passion of them, and the same passion that we share, with that program, because it is a lot. It's a lot on a small group of people, and there's only so many people. Them guys, they come to the races every day. They get there extremely early. They stay open until the B mains. Once the B mains are done, they go up, they watch some features and that kind of thing. And oftentimes there's other stuff going on, whether it's the golf stuff, or last year when we did the handicap, the lift.
There's never a downtime.
There's not. There's just
not.
never a downtime. You're right. And so if there's anybody out there that really would like to, if they're interested in the Hall of Fame, or
Even
that
just
kind of
helping out
thing,
sometime, giving them a little break once in a while.
yeah, a little
They-
breather now and then would be nice.
Yep. Because even when we're off for 2 or 3 weeks, we're not off. They're not off. Nothing ever. There's just no off time.
But, well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining the last lap tonight, and next week we'll have some guests, and going into championship weekend, we'll round you up some good guests and hopefully keep you entertained. Have a good night.